okay.
And that's when I did acid for the first time.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Welcome to 1969. People fucking in the streets, men on the moon, and a NASA scientist on drugs. Needless to say, I was never seen nor heard from again. Oh, when I came to, I wound up here.
Wait a minute, how does that work?
Oh, well, I'll tell you. After every conceivable variation of reality crawled inside my mind, I found myself in a forest clearing, naked, with my ass lying in twigs, rocks, and dirt. I looked up at the sky. It was windy, and clouds were out. The moon was stationary, a large circulatory mass, along the windswept world, blinking suggestively at me. I knew for an indisputable fact that there were 3 people up there on the moon, and I had played a part in giving them a ride. I said to the sky, God, if you're out there, please take me now. Let me finish out my life as the happiest son of a bitch that ever lived. Needless to say, God answered my prayers. I found myself swept up, picked up to be more precise, and carried up, up, up into the heavens, beyond the paltry moon, beyond the Milky Way, across time and space, faster than all conception, past Alpha Centauri, past Andromeda, beyond all sound and light. Tears ran down my face, but I wasn't crying at all. This was it. My dream come true. My whole life had built to this moment.
How?
I haven't the foggiest.
Oh. I'm getting something.
Another memory?
I'm 8 years old. I'm alone in the park with a bat and a baseball. I toss it in the air and hit it across the park. It's summer and there's not a cloud in the sky. I hit the ball in the space where the threads curve. It sails toward the sun. I watch it go until it blinds me, and then I have to shield my eyes till it falls back down to earth. I spend the whole day doing this. I'm still in the park when the sun is going down, and my mom calls me in for dinner.
That was nice.
Well, didn't I have any friends?
Your parents moved around a lot. Your father was in the military. He flew jets. It's why you wanted to be an astronaut, which is why you wanted to go to the moon.
Well, this ain't exactly the moon I've come to know and love.
You're right there.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's no ocean on the moon or seashells, and I pretty much know for a fact that there's no oxygen.
You nailed us. There is no way you could survive unless you cheated.
Well, how many people come here in a year?
A year?
Well, you know, how often do people show up?
I don't know.
Purgatory, baby?
What's that?
Interdimensional waiting room.
Well, that's no fun.
You're telling me?
Think of it more like an interstellar way station. You're here to rest. Take a breather, collect your bearings. Take stock of your situation.
What's my situation?
You tell me.
I'm getting something else. I'm 9 years old. My dad had been moving us from suburb to suburb for years. I still didn't have much in the way of friends. To make it up to me, my parents bought me a dog.
What kind of dog?
A blue hound dog with funny eyes.
And his name was Towser.
His name was Towser. He was the only dog I'd ever had, the only friend I'd ever had. As awful as it sounds, it's the truth. I love that dog.
A boy and his dog.
Oh, he was the best dog for a boy. He was a goddamn genius dog, and I loved him.
Until that fateful day.
Until that fateful day. We were in a park just after dark, and Towser and me were the only ones, practically, who lived in this neighborhood, so we'd often wind up alone, just me and Towser.
Against the world.
Against the world, yes. And then one night I ran out of the house and Towser was lagging behind. I'm not so sure why he was so far behind. I guess it doesn't really matter. I look back at him, and that's when I first heard the sound of the truck. The sound was something I'd already forgotten about. It was quiet. It was used to only quietness. I could hear it now, though, getting louder and louder. I could see Towser coming, and I knew what was going to happen long before it actually did. Towser stayed, but he just came running toward me. A blue rubber ball was in his mouth, and he still had this ruby grin on his face. Towser stayed, but he just kept coming, bounding. That's the word. As if it's snow. The engine got louder and louder, and the headlights shone on his thin blue body. I looked to my right. I could see the illuminated glimmer of the truck. God damn it, dog! Stop! But he just kept coming. He was halfway through the street. Then Towser and the truck both seemed to move in slow motion, and he wasn't there anymore.
The driver.
He didn't stop, didn't even slow down. He just became a red glow, disappearing into the night.
And the dog.
I could see myself moving toward him. I didn't want to. I swear, I tried to stop. I didn't want to look. I couldn't stop my legs from moving toward him. My dog was in pieces. I stood over him.
I'm sorry.
He was still alive.
I know. I'm sorry.
He looked up at me and he gave me this look as if he still wanted to play. As if he had no idea what just happened to him. That's when I knew he was just a stupid dog.
On the hood, bad food, and the lights, smelly burnt, rubber ball, through the haze, round my tongue, paws on rock, through the piss, like the nose, cut to run, smell of dirt, like the bar, black and white, thoroughfare, go all night, flash bright, she got shit, trees are tall, like the looks, like the birch, butterfly, we got shit, piece of bush, like an animal, I'm an animal, like is there, run to him, like the horse, like the shouts, shout my man, run to him, run, smell, sniff, sniffing frost, smell the pine, smell the squirrel, kind of grass, leaves a tree, I work night,